So first of all, I am a messy crafter and there's just no way around it. And I'm not washing my hands 10 times just to do a video. So please just live with it like I do, okay? Okay, so this is a Dollar Tree frame and I'm just taking it apart here. And then this is a mixture of white chalk paint and Mod Podge. And I'm just gonna paint that all over the frame and the glass. So I had this garbage bag under my project, and when I flipped over the frame, I loved this cool effect it gave. So I decided to do it on purpose. After I cleaned it up a little bit, got a little more paint on there, I took an edge of the bag and I recreated that pattern because I just liked it. Now this is just a piece of scrapbook paper you can get at any craft store. I believe I got this one at Hobby Lobby, and you just cut it to fit the frame. It's supposed to look kind of like wallpaper. So then I'm just taking more Mod Podge, and that's how I'm gonna adhere the scrapbook paper. And because it's wet, it gives this amazing effect, like the wallpaper's kind of ripping. You see the ripples in it. So I'm painting over it with just a wash of the white chalk paint plus some Mod Podge. So now I'm just taking a skull, and I got this at Michael's. It has like a little jaw that opens and closes, so cute. But just put that where you think it should go, find a good position for it. And then I'm just chalk painting it to blend it more into the background. So next I'm just adding these little skeleton hands. I do have these in my shop, glamcandyboutique.etsy.com. And I hot glued them. It was kind of difficult to get them to stick because they're kind of skinny on the end. There's nothing for it to really grab onto. So I ended up putting spackle behind the hand and using some glue to keep it in place. This is just Mod Podge, tacky glue, and water, and I mixed it up in a little bowl, and then I'm going to take some cheesecloth and dip it in there. And then as the cheesecloth dries, it will be stiff and it will hold up its shape. So then you just take the cheesecloth and you drape it over your skeleton. So this craft has kind of evolved as I've gone through it. You know, I didn't know what portions of the frame were going to show. Now I see that my scrapbook paper is not even going to show at this point in the craft, but I didn't know if I was just going to stick the skulls and the hands coming out of the wall, or if I was going to actually do this little draping technique. So now I'm taking some scissors and I'm just making that cloth fit more around the skeleton to bring out those features. And just do it carefully because there already are holes in the cheesecloth and you don't want to have great big rips. So this is a little lantern from Dollar Tree and it is very, very bright. So I ended up doing a light coating of Mod Podge plus some chalk paint, just a little wash over that candle so that it would tone it down. And I used some E6000 on the back just to glue it to the actual frame to give it some support, because otherwise it's just this little skeleton hand supporting all the weight of this lantern. And here it is during the day. I just love it. I think it's so cute. And you can see the scrapbook paper through it, so that's kind of cool. And then I also covered the little lantern with some more cheesecloth just to again tone it down some more. And here it is at night. Let me know what you think in the comments and be sure to subscribe if you aren't already so you don't miss any new crafts that I come out with. So first you're gonna need a wreath form. I just have this old one. You're gonna need 6 of those skulls from Dollar Tree and 3 sets of the chains. So we're gonna spray paint your wreath form. This was pink. I just was left over from something. You could also make a pink-a-wing chandelier though this way. So now that the skull is dry, you just poke a zip tie through the back. And so you can see I poked 2 holes, and then I just kind of fished out the bottom part with some little cuticle scissors, which I can't really show you one-handed, but you can kind of see what I'm doing. So you would just fish out the bottom of the zip tie. And then I made another, like a cross on the top of the skull. I made a crisscross, and that's where the candle is going to sit. And then what you're going to do is attach your skulls to the outside of the wreath. You do it on the last 2 rungs of the wreath, the 2 outside, and make sure that your skull is facing outward. See, it's just the last 2 here. And then you just pull it really tight so that that skull is sitting right against the wreath. And now I'm just going to trim off all the excess zip ties. So I left one of the handcuffs that are on the chain. I left one of those intact and on the chain, and then I'm just cutting it in half so that I can fit it around my wreath here, just fit it in between the rungs. Then I'm going to super glue those parts together. You could also zip tie it together, but I was completely out of white zip ties. So you just divide your wreath into thirds and then attach 3 of those in total. So these are the LED floating candles you can get on Amazon. They come with fishing line. Usually hang them from your ceiling. It looks like Harry Potter. But I'm using those so that my chandelier is now automated. It's like remote control lights, or that's the idea. So we'll have to see on the big reveal. So you just have to kind of muscle those into the little crisscross you cut. I didn't really want to, you do want to have to kind of muscle them in there so that they'll stay. And here's the demo with the wand. And it has some different settings, like it says candle, so you know it's a little bit more flickery. I don't see a huge difference. So now I'm just taking some spooky cloth from Dollar Tree and I'm tucking that over the candles and the skull. So I'm taking 2 of those. So this is how this looks during the day, and you can see I added another chain to the top. It was too close to the ceiling, but I just grabbed another chain from Dollar Tree and I added it. So it's just hanging from a hook that has an anchor on it, and I love it so much. And this is me playing with my remote control wand, which is so cool. So this is at night as you're walking into this room, and I think this is my favorite Halloween room in my house right now. I'm not finished with it, but it's getting there. But you can see it has a nice ambiance. It reminds me kind of Pirates of the Caribbean or Haunted Mansion for sure, those kind of vibes. This is my version. I based it off of the tutorial by Windy City Crafts, and she made a much darker version. Are you gonna make yours too?